All right, the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The roll call, please.
There. Here. Wilson. Absent. Secord. Here. Townsend.
Here.
Carpenter here. Williams.
Here.
Flicker.
Here.
Next, we have the adoption of the agenda.
I will make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made, supported. Adopt the agenda as presented. Any questions, objections, whatever? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Next, we have approval of the minutes of the June 1, 2021 regular meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes on June 1st, 2021, regular meeting.
Support.
Motion made, supported to approve the June 1, 2021 regular meeting. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Which takes us into public comment. Anyone, want to make public comment? One more time. Okay. Public comments, please. Reports all the way down to new business. In the business resolution R2107, the special assessment for waste management, waste collection management services.
I make a motion to approve resolution R2107 for increasing the special assessment waste collection management services from $150.77 to $165 as presented.
I'll support that.
Motion been made, supported. Do we need an explanation on this? Was Ron going to do it? I can read what he gave us or whatever. Anybody drop a surprise on me?
What's that?
No, did you want to elaborate on that one?
Sure. Well, I did type up a memo to the board, so I don't know if you want me to just read that or kind of ad-lib it, but basically, the auditors were here last month, and we kind of knew that the refuse fund was having substantial losses over the last several years. And this year, it did cause it to go into a deficit fund balance. Can everyone hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. So at 12/31/2020, we ended with a deficit fund balance. And state of Michigan, if you have any fund with a deficit fund balance, you have to formulate a deficit elimination plan. So I put that together, and the board did approve it last month. So I submitted the plan to Treasury, and Treasury turned around and said that because we're halfway through the year, they want to see the rates for 2021 approved. And that's something normally we do in the fall, because we don't send those tax bills out to the county until probably early November, and it's sent to the residents December 1st. So that's why we do it later in the year. But Treasury basically said they will not approve this plan until the rates are approved. And they said basically there was 30-day turnaround time from when the board when I submitted the deficit elimination plan to get those rates approved and to get it sent back to Treasury. So that's basically why I put this together and why I'd like you to approve the rates at this meeting so I can go ahead and get that submitted and they can approve the deficit elimination plan. And then as I said in the memo, we need to get the deficit elimination plan approved, and that will allow me to file a reconsideration on our qualifying statement, and that's key for us to issue debt, because we need to be qualified if we're going to issue any debt, and obviously with this building, we need to have a qualified statement. So it's imperative that we get that deficit elimination plan approved, thus we need to approve these rates tonight.
Thank you, Ron. I think most everyone knows that for residents and stuff, we have all these papers here, and those explanations are there. But I sometimes like to have someone explain it in more detail, meaning for the residents that are here, because they don't have all the information that we do. That way you get a better understanding of why we do some of the things we do sometimes. So, all right, thank you, Ron. Anybody on the board have any questions? Would you have a roll call, please?
Secord,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Thayer,
Yes.
Flicker,
Yes.
Carpenter, yes. Wilson, absent. Townsend,
Yes. Okay. Next we have the MSU Survey Findings. Adriana is going to come out.
Sure. So I'm just going to go ahead and read through the memo that I wrote up for the benefit of the members of the public that are here tonight. On Tuesday, June 29th, 2021, Bridgeport Charter Township received the working draft of the community survey that was conducted by Michigan State Master of Public Policy candidate Elizabeth Becker to gauge support for the township's proposed November 2021 ballot initiatives. At the survey onset, the township distributed a total of 3,200 postcards to households with information on how to access the survey either online, via phone, or in person. Along with a hard copy of this information, Bridgeport Charter Township sent 988 emails to the township newsletter subscribers through Constant Contact. The survey received 475 responses over the course of 4 weeks, from May 14th, 2021 through June 7th, 2021. And of those respondents, 31% accessed the survey through Facebook neighborhood groups. When provided information about the background of the Township Hall bond proposal and ballot language, respondents were evenly split. While a slight majority, 49% of the respondents supported the proposal and 48% of respondents opposed the proposal, the margin of error is plus or minus 5%, which means that support could range from 44 to 54%, and opposition could fall anywhere in the same range. Among the participants that were in favor or strongly favored the bond, the most frequent reason for their support was the belief that these improvements are needed. Among the participants that oppose or strongly oppose the bond, the most frequent reason behind their opposition was due to the tax increase that would result from its passage. Primarily female voters were more inclined to support this proposal, be softly opposed, or have no opinion. Aside from gender, support was highest amongst those in the 30 to 39-year age group and with residents who have resided in Bridgeport Charter Township for 2 to 5 years. Opposition for the Township Hall bond proposal was highest in men, those in the 40 to 49-year age group, and long-term residents that have lived in Bridgeport for 20 plus years. Open-ended comments submitted by survey participants, as well as comments observed on Facebook, indicated that there is some misinformation that may be feeding opposition to the new Township Hall. By far the most frequent comment was that many people believe the current church facility meets the township's needs as is. Commentators also felt that we could renovate one of the old schools instead of building new. As proposed, we are not completely building new, actually, since the vacant building would be renovated and added on to. Many commentators also felt that we could build a new facility for half the cost of the $7.7 million that is proposed. Another contingent of commentators did not believe that the fire department needs a new fire station. Still others claimed that MSU used cheap houses to calculate the annual cost of the bond. MSU used the average home value, just to clarify. People also distrusted the township's ability to select an appropriate site for the building, given that the previous building was constructed on top of a dump. Residents were less supportive of the proposed recreational facility bond, with only 29% indicating support for the measure and 67% indicating opposition. The margin of error is, again, plus or minus 5%, which means that support could range from 25 to 33%, and opposition could range from 63 to 72%. Overall, those in support of this bond measure were individuals in the 30 to 39-year age group, those that stated their 2020 property taxes were low, and those that visited current recreational facilities at least one time in the past 30 days. All other 2020 property tax groups and age groups were more likely to oppose this bond. Participants' opposition is driven by 77% of participants stating that they had not utilized current public recreational facilities. Given these results, a downsized version of the recreational center with amenities for seniors or a public-private partnership may still be viable at some point in the future, but is not viable as currently proposed. Based on these results, I recommend moving forward with the Township Hall bond proposal and setting aside the concept of a recreational center for now. Given the extremely slim margin of baseline support for a new Township Hall, as well as misinformation that is circulating on social media regarding items such as their current location's ability to serve the Township's needs, it is extremely important to get factual information out to the voters and engage them in the months leading up to the November 2nd, 2021 election. Therefore, I will be formulating a strategic public outreach plan later this month and requesting the board's feedback on it. Thank you.
Anyone have any questions?
Just a comment, I think it was great, the survey setup that Elizabeth did in MSU, and gave us a lot of information.
Yeah, and it'll be hopefully helpful when Ariana puts that together as far as the answers to some of the residents, the junior positions in particular. Obviously, like a lot of things, there's a lot of misunderstanding and those kind of things, and hopefully if they get some clarification on some of those questions that they had, it'll help find a few more people to support it. But we're going to do some strategic planning as time moves on, and just how we're going to address that and get out the information the best way we can to as many people as we can. Thanks again, Adrian.
Yep. Yeah, I will be going through all of the comments that were left on the survey and trying to address all of those comments and get them distributed. We have started to address a few of the more common comments, and we've created a frequently asked questions section on the website and started to put answers to those FAQs on the township's website.
And obviously the other part of that is we have to try and find a way to get to the residents that didn't participate or don't do those kind of things, so they get the proper information so they can make an educated decision on what's necessary.
Yeah, there were certainly various demographics that were quite underrepresented in the survey. The younger population, it was overwhelmingly taken by people that were 65 and up, and also just other groups in particular. So, yeah.
Okay. Next, we have resolution R2108, resolution submitting municipal complex bond proposal. Get a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 21-08, submitting a municipal complex bond proposal for the November 2nd, 2021 election as presented.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Again, Adriana is going to elaborate some more on it.
So, based on the results of MSU survey regarding the proposed new municipal complex, I recommend proceeding with adding language for a bond measure to construct a new municipal complex on the site of the former Huntington Bank building to the Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021 ballot. The timeline for this proposed ballot initiative is as follows. On Tuesday, July 27th, 2021, petitions to place proposals on the ballot must be filed with the county and local clerks by 5 p.m. On Tuesday, August 10th, 2021, ballot wording of proposals qualified to appear on the ballot must be certified to county and local clerks by 4 p.m. Please note, at this time, we will not be proceeding with placing a bond measure for a recreational center in its current proposed form on the ballot due to the perceived lack of support from the community discerned from the MSU survey. Prior to finalizing the ballot language, construction costs for the proposed building were reconfirmed with TSSF architects. The bond numbers were reconfirmed with PFM consultants, and the legal ballot language was confirmed with our legal counsel, Steve Frank at Miller, Canfield, Paddock, and Stone. The proposed ballot language for the municipal complex is attached. Would you like me to read that proposed ballot language?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the language reads as follows. Municipal complex bond proposal. Shall the Charter Township of Bridgeport, Saginaw County, Michigan borrow the principal sum of not to exceed $7,655,000 and issue its general obligation unlimited tax bonds in one or more series payable over a period not to exceed 21 years from the date of issuance of each series to provide funds to be used for the township for the purpose of paying all or part of the cost of acquiring, constructing, furnishing, and equipping a new municipal complex, including administrative, police department, and fire department facilities, together with related site improvements and appurtenances and attachments. The estimated millage to be levied in 2022 is 2.15 mils, which is $2.15 for each $1,000 of taxable value, and the estimated simple average annual millage rate required to retire the bonds is 1.99 mils, $1.99 for each $1,000 of taxable value.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like Adriana said, the time frame for that to be submitted, even though the election, the proposal will be on the ballot until November, there's still a time element to all those. Okay. We have a roll call, please.
Williams?
Yes.
Secor? Yes. Thayer?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Harper, yes. Wilson, absent. Townsend?
Yes. Okay. The next one is the Metro Act permit application for fiber optic cable on Fischer Road. I can just quickly do this. They're going to be putting some fiber optic cable on Fischer Drive. And what we got from the turnkey network solutions. They need 3 copies of a permit application form, bilateral support for permit form as well. States that a municipality shall approve or deny access under this section within 45 days from the date the provider files an application for a permit to access for public right of way. In other words, you need to approve it for them to put fiber optic cable over on Fischer Drive. That's all covered.
Yes.
Okay, anyone have any questions?
the right-of-way. I'll make a motion to approve the right-of-way telecommunication permit for U.S. Signal Company LLC to install fiber optic cables on Fischer Road in Bridgeport Township.
Second.
Motion been made and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving along, next bit of accounts payable.
I'll make a motion to approve checks number 68257 through 68385 in the amount of $364,144.58 as presented. Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Everyone had a chance to review. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we have the police department report. Dave, if you could speak real loudly, because the microphone was down in that area, but there's one over here that should be working, so you can,
I'll try to speak loud.
you're doing good.
So we had 2 new officers start Monday, June 7th. Brian Schlicker, he's a fresh graduate from Uptic College Academy. He just started his phase 2, just 1 month training with us, pretty good so far. And then also we hired Larry Benicki. He's a 13-year veteran with the Saginaw County Sheriff's Office. He did a little bit of 2-week thing with us. Again, he's a 13-year veteran. He's out on solo patrol right now doing a good job for us. So we still have 2 more openings. We're still going through that process and actually just set up an interview today or next Tuesday with potential applicants. So hopefully we'll be filling one of those 2 spots. We handled 642 calls for service through the month of June, compared to 596 calls of service for the month of May. Again, those calls don't include calls that come from our front office. And those are listed weekly on our Facebook page and also on our constant contact, so all that information is out there. I just want to commend our officers. Although we've been short-staffed, summertime's always busier. You guys are doing a great job of maintaining the 24/7 coverage. They're out there doing what they need to do, and hopefully try to keep the crime under wraps, because we're seeing it go up everywhere else. I'm not going to keep it on our borders. And then just recently, the attorney Mark Toes from the law firm Gilbert and Smith, he handled all our traffic citations. He just left the position of Bradley County. So he was replaced with another attorney from that same law firm, Bill Smith. We've been real happy with that law firm, and I'm sure Bill will do a good job for us. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody got any questions for Dave?
Yeah, I have a question. Yes, Dave, do you advertise outside of Saginaw County area?
Yes, we advertise on MPOs, Michigan Enforcement Standards. Unfortunately, what we're running into, the last time I checked, there's like over 150 police departments in the state of Michigan that are also vying for a very limited number of candidates. The last Delta College Academy only graduated 9 police recruits.
So are we having a hard time trying to retain police officers? Or it seems as if it look like every month, someone leave.
That is part of the issue too, and especially right now, the limited number, there's a large amount of officers that are leaving the profession altogether, and there's a lot of officers that are leaving for other departments for better opportunities. In the past, we've lost officers to large departments. Specifically, I lost 3 officers to Kent County Sheriff's Office over in the Grand Rapids area. More money, more opportunities to do different things, to go into specialties, vice, detective, bureau, promotions, things like that. So being a smaller department, it's hard to retain officers. They come here, get a little bit of experience, and then they leave and go into a larger department where better pay, better opportunities, and better benefits. And right now, everyone is hiring. So over 150 departments in the state. So whoever can give the best opportunities, the best pay, and the best benefits. Unfortunately, that's what we're seeing a lot of options go to.
Okay, thank you.
One method that we've tried with contracts with the police union is to try and keep shop that can't pay a whole lot, and then a big organization and they can pay a whole lot more or does, and they have a tendency to move in that direction. So Dave is very frustrated, and it's understandable. We all do, but it's just part of reality that we have to accept, and not happily accept, and do what we can, move along. Okay, thank you, Dave. Everybody else have anything? All right, Mr. Schmiegel.
Good evening. The Bridgeport Fire Department responded to 132 calls for service in the month of June and are currently, as of today, to 799 calls for service. And that's approximately 128 calls higher than this time last year and nearly as high over 2019 pre-COVID. So some people will ask, well, how did COVID affect it? We are actually above the record-setting year of 2019. Many different things. In June, for example, we had 16 car crashes, some ranging from 11 car pileups in I-75. We've, in the last month and a half, had deployed the JAWS to 5 different accidents to extricate patients. We've had 4 individuals thrown from their vehicles, or ejected as we call it. We've had the accident investigation team, which typically is only deployed when there's a high probability someone is going to die as a result of the crash or has died 5 times in the last month and a half. And that's just the car crashes. We've had 5 structure fires in the month of June, a couple in the month of July, various reasons and sizes to those, and a number of different calls in between aside from the increased medical calls. And medical calls are also not only on the rise, but counter to that, we're understaffed, the ambulances are understaffed, our neighbors are understaffed. So as those call volumes are going up, we're finding it's harder and harder to meet all those calls. And it's not just Bridgeport. We have actually been in a position just in one day last week where simultaneously we were asked to take a call of our own, a call for Spalding, and a call for Municipal within the same 20-minute period. So we actually had 5 individuals spread out amongst 3 townships at 3 separate incidents. And trust me, 5 individuals is not enough to spread out to those particular incidents. So when we talk about being understaffed at 19 people currently, and even if our 800 call volume, Vista is feeling equally pressured, and theirs is much higher, but a Spalding, Tamath, Birch Run that run half to a quarter of our call volumes are also struggling to put people into RIT. Hence, we've actually had to go to Spalding, a much smaller community with a much lower call volume, because they simply do not have firefighters during the daytime. So it is a crisis of sorts for a great number of communities, not just Bridgeport. We are at 19 people, as I just mentioned. We've picked up a new firefighter cadet just recent weeks, Jacob Schluckbeer. A little bit of trivia, he's the 8th Schluckbeer who have joined the Bridgeport Fire Department in its history. So we hope that this is the beginning of a long-term career for him with Bridgeport. It's early to tell. Unfortunately, we've been separated with a 20-year veteran who is, he and his family have recently left the community. So anyone, those one, that's kind of been our going at it too, as far as trying to get up to more reasonable numbers, much higher numbers would be great, but that's the reality we face. In all, we are also looking to, we're in the planning stages and should be announcing formally of our open house that's slated for, September 12th of this year. This is actually not even for the general purpose of, say, the building proposals and things of that nature. It is our 80th anniversary, and we simply think it's a good thing from time to time to bring people in for a better understanding of their hometown fire department, no matter what considerations there are for people, buildings, fire apparatus. It's always good to have them come in, invite them in. Maybe they'll answer some of these questions that are out there about current situations. But at the same token, I I think it's an opportunity for the community to, once again, get the opportunity to come in face to face with their firefighters, something that we haven't been able to do for a couple of years, and hopefully forge new understandings and relations with the community. Just want to bring up tomorrow evening, we are actually going to use this room. The Michigan Propane Gas Association is graciously offering a class to the regional firefighters, which they pay for and present. They picked us to be one of the classrooms, which I asked to host in this very room. Their purpose is to bring firefighters up to an awareness level of how to handle propane emergencies, whether it's a gas-powered appliance or a gas storage facility, which we have a couple of large facilities here in Bridgeport. So they do this yearly, and we were one of the classes that we picked here. And that's coupled actually with a two-part training. The classroom will be here. There will be a hands-on training held in Vassar come the 24th, where they actually will do hands-on training with real propane-fed props, including a 30-foot propane manifold that myself and Captain Benchik are taking in. You actually address this large blowtorch, push it aside with your fire hose so that an individual can reach in and turn the valve off. It's pretty amazing. It sounds crazy, but with a proper teamwork of two hose teams and a guy in the middle controlling it all, we can actually push a propane fire over so that they can turn the valve off and turn the supply of gas on. And that's what these guys will get a chance to do here in a couple of weeks. So that's what we got going on, and us, much like our brethren in the police and the EMS, it's busy, it's crazy. We're holding our own so far, but we can only hope for a little relief in both the lightening of the fire load, police or EMS, and maybe a few more extra bodies. Just keep in mind though, firefighters don't instantly come ready to go. They have to go through over 200 hours of classroom instruction just to become entry-level firefighter certified in the state of Michigan. That doesn't include hazardous materials training, does not include EMS training. So once they have that ability to go through those classes, pass the state tests, then they can actually be considered firefighters. So thank you, and if you have any questions, feel free.
Chief, what time, what are the hours for the open house?
That is part that we're still determining. We expect to have everything on paper and flyers ready by the beginning of next month. If I had to guess, I'm looking at probably a mid-afternoon start time, like a 3-4 hour time period. But honestly, we had a meeting last night, and they are still working out the final details, other than I can give you any concrete date of September 12th.
Okay, thank you.
But I will have that information here hopefully very soon, and you will let us know well ahead of time. I know they're planning on having, in addition to obviously the display of the apparatus, the equipment, a couple demonstrations, we're looking at bringing in actually food trucks. We've actually partnered up with at least 3, possibly up to 5, in which they graciously have said that they will donate 10% of their sales to the department, in addition for allowing them to be there as an extra draw for them and us. It's one way that we've actually decided to kind of maybe bring a bigger draw and take care of the refreshment side of things. So a lot of hopes that we'll have something that the public will enjoy, just to even come out and hang out as a community.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did anybody else have any questions? Yeah, I really don't know how those guys do it. The firemen, the police are busy constantly, that kind of thing, but our guys, for the most part, obviously they work from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and they go home. And I've seen evenings where 9:30 at night they get a call, 10:30 they get a call, 1 o'clock in the morning they get a call, 2:30 they get a call, 4 o'clock they get a call, and they have to come to work the next day. I don't know how they do it, but they do it, and we're glad they are being able to do it. One one of the questionnaires made a statement of, well, why don't we just put on a full-time fire department? That'd be great. That would cost a lot of money. Obviously, you need rooms for just sleeping quarters, you need kitchens, you need a whole lot of things and plus it'd be very costly. I thought we'd get something like that passed, not that we ever even considered it. But, Saginaw Township, as big as it is, doesn't have a full-time fire department.
They do not currently have 7 personnel, full-time administrative staff, and
Yeah.
so forth.
But as large as they are, they don't have a full-time. They get a few more people to call on than we do, obviously. A lot of small townships. All right, thank you. Adriana.
So,
Adriana, excuse me. Well, that microphone will go over there. Or you just one set on the other.
can you not hear me?
Unless you want to try it, call them a little. You have a soft voice.
Were you able to hear me earlier?
Okay, so, all right.
Okay.
Sorry.
So Dixie road construction continues on Dixie Highway, including the installation of aggregate base for the road widening along the northeast side of Dixie Highway. As of today, they are working on swale and culvert installations near the automotive body shop. In terms of HR, this has already been mentioned a little bit tonight, but we have one ongoing opening for a DPW water summer seasonal worker. The police department also has 2 openings, and the fire department continues to recruit for on-call firefighters. You may have noticed today, or last week, or over the weekend, that the new LED sign was installed on Friday. This morning, Tracy and I participated in training to learn how to remotely program the sign, and we're still working out items such as how many seconds each message should display. Department heads must submit proposed sign messages through Tracy Bennett. Later this month, we'll be putting grass sod down, in fact, I think it starts tomorrow, around the sign. The township would also like to add some sort of landscaping, rocks, flowers, shrubs around the base of the sign, and landscaping ideas are welcome by board members or anyone else, anyone from residents to board members. In terms of the CEDM Fellowship, I've got an update on that. Bridgeport has distributed our press release advertising recruitment of our CEDM Fellow to local media, nonprofits, universities, social media, including Facebook and LinkedIn, Constant Contact, and our website. In terms of media, the Herald, WSGW News Radio, and the Moose have all run blurbs about it, and the Saginaw News says it will run an article on it by the end of this week. So far, we've received 6 applicants, and the application window closes on Monday, July 26th, 2021. I also have an update on the Economic Development Study, Commercial Market Study, and Residential Target Market Analysis. The DDA released a request for qualifications for the study on June 18th, 2021, and received 1 set of qualifications back from CIB, which stands for Community Image Builders, by the deadline on Friday, July 2nd, 2021. The CIB team's qualifications have been distributed to both the DDA and the Township Board, and the DDA will vote tomorrow on selection of the consultant. We anticipate receiving $30,000 in technical assistance funding from MEDC to help us complete the study. We are also coordinating with Saginaw Future to look at additional grant funding from the U.S. Economic Development Administration. I also have an update on the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 funding. Accounting Supervisor Ron Ratchwitz submitted the required paperwork to receive the township's share of the ARPA funding on Thursday, July 8th, 2021. Payments will occur once the Michigan Department of Treasury has reviewed our submittal and determined that we meet all requirements. We will be holding discussions over the next month on what the funds will be used for. Based on our estimated 2019 population of 9,809 people, we anticipate receiving $1,026,694. We also have an update on reaching out to the business community. I have now toured both the Orchid Unique and around Amigo facilities and met with their managers, Supervisor Townsend and I toured Amigo on Wednesday, May 26th, and I toured Orchid with members of Bridgeport's police and fire departments this afternoon. We originally planned to hold the tours earlier, but due to COVID-19, they were delayed on a couple of occasions. I've also asked to be a participant as a panelist in one of the general sessions of the Summer Michigan Municipal Executives Conference. The topic of discussion is building trust in your community, and the session will be held on Thursday, July 22nd in Rochester Hills. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have any questions? As far as the tour, like Amigo, Adriana, they put on their new facility, the addition and stuff, and I wasn't quite included when we were there, but any of the board members would like to take a tour of that facility someplace, or sometime I'm sure they'd be glad to accommodate us. It's quite interesting. In their new facility, they said maybe by now they've got everything running in there too, but along with Orchid Unique, I had taken a tour of that a couple of years ago, and that's quite interesting too to see. And we're going to be looking at a couple other businesses on down Dixie Highway to try and visit and do those kind of things. Thinking that anybody want to make area residents as far as that goes. Do tours occasionally, so it's quite interesting to see some of that stuff. Or comment, Bree?
Nice to be back.
But to get used to, we had our microphones were pretty much mothballed during that whole time we were doing virtual meetings, so they hooked them up this afternoon sometime or whatever, and they could get a couple of them working for whatever reason. Maybe they wanted to stay in retirement, I don't know. But, so anyway, you all said Calvin.
Oh, no, I got to say something.
That's fine. I think your mic is on, I'm not sure.
Hello, is it on?
Yes.
Very good.
I have yet to, I think probably we have yet to hear from our newly elected county commissioner. And I would like to make a request that we ask her to come to the August meeting and give us an update on county programs and activities. It would be nice to get her to come and, just chit chat with us, let us know what she has in mind. I know she's from the other party, but nevertheless, I think an invitation would be outstanding.
That's kind of on my agenda to invite her, since we've been having virtual meetings.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah, that'll be taken care of. That invitation will be extended.
The other comment I have, I just want to piggyback off of Adriana's comment about the electronic sign. It looks good. I've been sort of hoping that we do something for the last couple of years in that direction. So thanks a lot for pursuing that and making that happen.
What's that?
What's that?
Okay, your Daryl?
No comment.
Lee?
No comment.
Jimmy?
No comment.
Oh, God. They offered to take my microphone away and let somebody else use it, so I wouldn't talk, and I thought I can talk loud enough.
That would stop me.
There's no respect at all. I just want to mention to Ron, he's right on top of that stuff. With all the COVID stuff going on, programs available to the federal government, the state government, and stuff. He does an excellent job of. Sometimes I get a lot of those notifications on emails and stuff, and I'll stop by and, Ron, did you see that latest one? And, yeah, I already got it done, so, and he does an excellent job for us. So.
Actually, just to piggyback off of that, I think that the ARPA funding, Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it opened on July 7th and you submitted it on July 8th.
Actually, it opened on the 8th, and I even submitted it before the email went out, actually.
Yeah, so he was really on top of it.
Well, and there's a reason for that. If you remember when they did the public safety and the first responder hazard pay, they had such incredible deadlines. You had to submit everything in a week or you were out of luck. So I need to stay on top of it or we'll be out of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for people like him that do those things for whatever organization it is, because you see bada boom, bada bang, it's gone. Sorry, it's ludicrous. Anyway, so be it. A motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.